So, former President Donald Trump's legal team is now saying that Terrence Bradley may have misled Judge Scott McAfee with his testimony about Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. The defense team is now pushing to present a witness that they're saying would be able to confirm this assessment. The Georgia election interference case against Donald Trump is one that holds a lot of possible political repercussions. This could also explain the complete 180 that Bradley did in court, as he denied ever knowing that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade had an intimate relationship before this Georgia case. So make sure to stick around until the end, because you're not going to believe what a judge told Willis about her conduct outside of the courtroom. Now, before we really get into this thing, all I ask is that you guys take 1 second, drop a quick like for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. And I just want to thank you guys so much for always sharing these videos. You guys are absolutely the best. Cindi Lee Yeager, a deputy district attorney in neighboring Cobb County, had a recent conversation with Trump's defense lawyers. A key argument for the defense rests upon alleged conversations that she's had with Mr. Bradley. Now, if the defense can prove that the timing of the romantic relationship between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade started earlier than November 2021, well, that spells major trouble for them. Now, this date is very important because Fani Willis and Nathan Wade have both testified under oath that their relationship happened after Wade was hired in November 2021. Now, if the defense can prove that their relationship started earlier than this, then 3 things can happen. Number 1, that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade would then be charged with perjury. Number 2 is that they would be disqualified from this Georgia case due to clear conflicts of interest. And the last one is that they would lose all credibility within their line of work, which would likely destroy them professionally. Now, again, proving that they lied in court would show that Willis hired her own boyfriend for a very high-profile job, a job that was highly profitable for both parties. Now, this also strengthens the argument that Fani Willis, in her position as Fulton County District Attorney, benefited financially and greatly from this. A key factor that the defense points at are all of the vacations that both of them allegedly took. Now, Terrence Bradley, he was supposed to be the key to connecting all these dots. He even had text messages with one of the lawyers of the defense where he says he absolutely knows that Willis and Wade were in a relationship before November 2021. Absolutely is a pretty definitive word, isn't it? Now, when called to testify about it though, Bradley suddenly, he changed his tone and he said that his text message was a little bit more of a speculation. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, absolutely is not really speculative. It's very definitive. Now, in a recent court filing, defense attorney spoke to Yeager about what she knows. In the filing, it stated that Bradley told her about the relationship between Willis and Wade. She said that Bradley confirmed that Mr. Wade had definitely begun a romantic relationship with Miss Willis during the time that Miss Willis was running for district attorney in 2019 through 2020. Now, here's the great big Yeager bomb, right? Even worse for Willis. Yeager also said that she overheard her call Bradley last September. The conversation was supposedly spurred on by a news article that mentioned how much Willis's office was paying Wade. Oh boy. So Yeager went on and said that she heard Willis tell Bradley that they're coming after us and that Bradley doesn't need to talk to them about us. Yeager wasn't able to confirm who they were, but it would be easy to assume that this is somehow connected to the romance between Wade and Willis. Now, with all that being said, we're not really sure what kind of impact these statements will actually have at this point. It's a little bit too early to tell, especially as Judge McAfee has already kind of wrapped up testimony on the disqualification question. So the recent filing from the defense, though, it insists that they would ask the judge to allow them to put Yeager on the stand in the event that the court reopens the hearing to receive additional evidence. Fani Willis, though, has argued that she and Nathan Wade are telling the truth and that this is not personal and that all they want is the truth as well when it comes down to this Georgia case. I guess this is partly why old footage of Willis is now resurfacing, as it seems like she's contradicting herself. If we go back to 2022, Atlanta Judge Robert McBurney criticized Fani Willis for her actions that spoke volumes. In a shocking turn of events, McBurney called out Willis for holding a fundraiser for a Democratic candidate running against one of their investigation's potential targets. Oh boy. Now, from the perspective of an average citizen, this could be seen as someone who is completely biased. And I believe that the judge saw the exact same thing because he literally asked Willis, "What are you thinking?" He also added that the optics are horrifying. And if you look back, this was more of a warning for Willis.
Using the title of your office and having on social media that you as this political office holder are holding a fundraiser for the opponent of someone that this political office is investigating. I don't know that it's an actual conflict, but I used that phrase, "What were you thinking?" where the prosecutor thought I could prosecute the co-defendant of someone I defended. It's a "what are you thinking" moment. The optics are horrific. If you are trying to have the public believe that this is a nonpartisan, driven by the facts, and I'm not here to critique decisions, the decision was made, but if we are trying to maintain confidence that this investigation is pursuing facts in a nonpartisan sense, no matter who the district attorney is, we follow the evidence where it goes and ignore the fact that I hosted a fundraiser for the political opponent of someone I've just named the target. That strikes me as problematic, maybe not from an actual conflict level, but if we are at a cocktail party and people are asking, do you think that this is a fair and balanced approach to things? I do. Well, how do you explain this? How does one explain? I mean, that's the concern I'm working through, is that it's not a lowercase a appearance. It's like a capital A with flashy lights, fundraiser, district attorney for the political opponent of someone I've named the target of my investigation, where I'm the legal advisor to the grand jury, and I'm on national media almost nightly talking about this investigation. That's problematic.
But fast forward to today, and it still looks like she's leaning on her own personal agenda, even hiring her own boyfriend to be a part of her team to prosecute former President Donald Trump. And this kind of begs the question, how are we supposed to believe that this is a nonpartisan case? And here's another troubling update. It's now come out that the election officials in Georgia were told that Fulton County did not perform any signature verification on any absentee by mail ballot in the 2020 election. Also, the same people were never provided the chain of custody documents that they were requesting. Does this prove that there's corruption going on there? Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she thinks that this is the case. She even said that this revelation is only scratching the surface. So let's just go a little bit deeper, shall we? Back in 2020, Georgia audited their votes and confirmed that the absentee ballots were authentic. However, it's recently come out that Georgia did not do signature verification in Fulton County. So get this, guys. They had an electronic verification system, but they admitted that they didn't use it. Why would you not use it? What are you trying to hide here? They admitted that they also had records of voter signatures, but they also chose not to use it, which means that they have the records and the means of checking them, but instead they opted not to because it would take too long? Or was there some other reason? Now, this has critics saying that the 2020 election should never have been certified, but there are people out there that don't really like the idea of confirming the identity of people before letting them vote. One of them is U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. You see, he feels as if providing a valid form of identification is something that should not be done in the United States. He also added that there are challenging efforts by states and jurisdictions to implement discriminatory, burdensome, and unnecessary restrictions on access to the ballot, including those related to mail-in voting, the use of drop boxes, and voter ID requirements. And I'm just wondering to myself, if there's no ID verification, couldn't illegal immigrants just vote too? I mean, who's to say that you can or cannot vote without any kind of ID verification? Now, there's a lot of talk already when it comes to what Garland is saying. Some say that this will lead to even more elections being stolen. Others argue that they want people who don't even live in the United States to vote. People that may have been let in by the Biden administration for this very reason. Now, of course, it's going a little bit overboard. However, it's not impossible if you ask the critics of President Biden and the policies that he's put forth. But what do you guys think about all this? Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to continue to be here to give you guys the information and keep you informed every single day. Now, before I go, I just want to thank you all for your time. Thanks for liking the videos. Thank you for sharing them, and I'll see you guys on the next one.